And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome back the day after Christmas. How does everybody feel? I may have eaten a little too much, but I sure did enjoy it. Wasn't it great, Odie?
Oh, it was awesome.
Odie agrees with me on that. It was a great time. I just ate, and then I ate some more, and then, why not? Let's go by and taste everything again. You just can't help it. That's what went on over the weekend. On the way, we're going to be checking your forecast. Plus, we've got all your headlines. What's going on nationally? What's shaping America this morning as you were asleep? We've got those stories next as we begin this, but right now we need to go to Collinsville. Let's get back on track as we go to get a good word this morning from Collinsville First Baptist.
As they say, this is the most wonderful time of the year. For so many, we just celebrated with family, friends, others we love. For those of us with families, it's hard to express just how much fun it is to watch our children or maybe even our grandchildren open presents. If yours are like mine, before it was time, they picked them up, they gave them a little shake, they're trying to decipher what might be inside. And sometimes we even have to shoo them away because they've gotten too good at it. See, for Paul in Ephesians 3, 8 through 10, he had been given a great gift, salvation. Paul tells us that he had been given a special ministry to the Gentile, the non-Jewish people, to proclaim this mystery, the coming of Christ, his death, and his resurrection, that God had kept until the time was right. We certainly make a fuss over trying to find out what our Christmas presents are. But praise God that the greatest gift that has been given and will ever be given has been given to us, and we no longer have to wonder where our hope is found. You don't have to go on an elaborate search. You don't even have to earn your way to getting this wonderful gift. It has been freely given. And for us, all that is required for you and for me is to place our faith and our trust in the finished work of Christ. And in that, God will transform our minds and our hearts to follow Him for the rest of our lives and eternity. So the question is, have you opened this incredible gift? It's certainly already been given to you through Jesus. You just need to dive into this blessing. And for those of us who have enjoyed this gift, don't forget just how good it is and how good He is. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mouty Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And a big thank you there. It is December the 26th. We've got 1 week, and it'll be the new year.
2024.
Wow. Actually, it's less than that, isn't it? Monday is going to be the new year if I'm looking at it's 6 days now. I had in my head it was a week, but it is only 6 days to that. Right now, 47. We have a wind chill of 44 as you're waking up. What's going to happen today? It's going to be cloudy for the most part, and then later after lunch, it'll break away and become sunny. We should have a high somewhere around 59, and then we'll have winds of 10 to 15, 5 to 10. I was in the neighborhood, wasn't I? But that's what we're expecting today. The Colorado judges that threw Trump off the ballot, and this would be the Colorado state judges, which is their Supreme Court, threats have been made against them. The FBI is looking into those threats to see if they're legit, and they will track down whoever. Anybody realize Charlie Sheen was assaulted by his neighbor? Just didn't like Charlie. Could Charlie really be that bad?
Yep.
You think so?
I think so.
He could probably have a party or two, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Who was it that got? Who was it that there was a senator that got beat up a year or so ago by his neighbor? Was that it was Rand Paul that got beat up? You remember that?
Oh, vaguely, I do.
Yeah, his neighbor lost his cool, and you just don't go to whooping up on senators. Has a stiffer thing, but I guess Charlie's okay. It'll just be a dispute there amongst neighbors. Now, there's a lot of people probably are sweating this morning because they know their name is getting ready to hit the press, as a judge has ordered the release of more than 150 people named in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Names are getting ready to hit it. I know last week it was a lady that was begging for her name not to come out to a judge. Didn't work. Those names will be made public very soon. Be ready for that. And, of course, the media will jump all over that, putting that out. Twitter being sued. And I don't quite understand this. If a company is bought out by another company, I guess it's the way it's all written. bonuses weren't paid to those people under the old Twitter company. They're suing the new company because they didn't get their bonuses of millions of dollars that they were supposed to get. Sounds like they're going to be getting their money. But I'm not a lawyer. I don't quite understand that. We go to Italy next for this, and I just think that there's a penalty beyond us for doing things of this. This is just my opinion because, well, I know what the truth is because I've read the good book. As the manger scene, we all know that's Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. In Italy, they've put up nativity scenes with 2 women and no Joseph.
With rainbow stuff
Yeah. Again, no penalty on this earth for that, but I do think that someday there's a higher calling for misleading people.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I feel. Now, you may not agree with me, but I sure feel that a higher power will have someone answer to that. A Ukrainian Catholic church says, I don't care if you are the Pope. Your paper's no good here, as they declined to accept the pieces of paper that the Pope passed along saying that he endorses same-sex marriages. Ukraine says no way. Now, I'm not sure what's going on in the United States of where that is. I know there's a lot of Catholics in the United States, and I'm just not sure how that swung over. I don't know. Maybe you do. Mall shootings. How can you do this over Christmas weekend? But it happened in Florida. A suspect is being shot after a man was killed. There's in a mall on top of that. That was in Florida where all that, Ocala, Florida, if you've ever been there, a mall shooting. See what else is happening here. Now, I've read this story 3 times, and I've gone through it, and I don't quite understand it. There's more than meets the eye. San Diego, California. As the story reads, family members found a body in a freezer. It doesn't say who placed the body there, or were they visiting family members, or if it was they come home and, well, there's a body in our freezer. Police have been called. It's a female. That's all they know. There's a connection to the family some way or another, but it's just not being released as of yet. That's kind of weird, but we all know that's not the first time, nor will that be the last that there's a headline like that in America. They have no idea how the person was killed, natural or if it was murder. They don't know yet, but they are looking into all that. I have to say a thumbs up for America on this. There was a time, before COVID, that greed was really running rampant in America. And what I mean by that is your Walmarts, every Target, every major retail store, if you remember on Thanksgiving Day, were forcing their employees to work. And then back on Christmas Day as well to try to get their revenue higher before the year ended. Well, over the last couple of years, that's kind of dwindled since COVID. They let people stay at home and be with their families. That is the right decision to do. There needs to be a time to where you are with loved ones and not being forced to be at a job. And that's basically what that was, in my opinion. But more Americans got to stay home. That is great. Now, there are essential services that we all have to have, but being at Wally World Target ain't one of them. We all know that. Colorado had the same thing that Florida did, a mall shooting. 1 dead, 2 injured in a Christmas Eve mall shooting in Colorado. That did happen. Beyonce, we know who she is. She's a big star. Her childhood home in Houston, Texas has caught fire. Everybody got out of the house okay, but the house had major damage to it as it caught fire. It's been sold several times. This is almost like a Home Alone story. As a child, 6 years old, was misplaced on an airplane. Spirit Airlines has put an unoccupied child on the wrong plane. And of course, you can hire people if you've got to send a child to meet a family member somewhere. You can pay an extra, I think it's $75 to where they have an employee of the airport or that airline walk that child to it, stay with them until they're on. Dylan, that was his very first time that he ever flew somewhere. I did that because, well, he'd never done it before.
I thought that was mandatory.
It may be mandated, but they sure let it happen. Wrong plane, that means you end up in the wrong town, doesn't it? The things that go on. Oh, boy. Let's see. We had another story that we're going to bring up before we went into this. We do have 3 U.S. service members who have been injured in a terrorist attack. This is, as we look at all of this, is Israel-Hamas war. 3 U.S. military personnel were injured. Trying to help out. Keep them in mind they're injured. They didn't lose their life, thank goodness. But we certainly don't need any of our boys and girls hurt with this conflict. We'll be right back as we get into what is going on with the weather forecast. We've got that next as we get this day started. Let's put a smile on and face it together.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
And welcome back as we go for our record highs and our record lows. 2016, it was a warm 79. 1985 was a much different story as we were waking up to 10 degrees on this day back in 85. Brr, as we like to say. As we look across what's going to happen today, 58, 59 is going to be our highs. We go toward Philadelphia, cooler. 56 from there all the way up to Mississippi State. Back over at the river, we're looking at 57 all the way down to Natchez, and then warmer towards the Hattiesburg area. 59 is what we're seeing. As we go to Alabama, we should see 57 there in Demopolis, and staying pretty much the same through Birmingham. We will see a little bit warmer weather from Montgomery to Troy in those areas, 63, 64. Now, as we look across this, cooler weather right now, and if you think this is cool, wait till these nighttime lows hit us of what we've got coming. It is going to be quite chilly here in the next little bit. As we look at our 7-day forecast, here's what we've got here. 58 for a high today, down to 35. Tomorrow night is when it changes, and we will go below freezing. Look at this, 30, 28, 29 on Thursday, 28 Friday, as we move toward the new year. Now, as we get near the new year, what we can expect, northern Mississippi, not here, northern Mississippi into Tennessee, should see maybe a light dusting that's in the forecast for New Year's Day, but not in the Meridian area. It'll be right there at the Tennessee line. Should that change, we'll let you know, but most likely not going to be included on this as we look at this right here. Let me show you what the extended forecast shows there for the first. See that? 27 and that right there, showers, that word, that's what causes issues. Now, as we all know, it is Mother Nature. Anything can go on. As you'll see past this point, there's even a chance there on the 4th as we see 32 at freezing and a chance of AM showers. Never good when you see 32 with rain, but we'll watch this. At this point, everything is supposed to be north of us at the Tennessee line. Again, as I stress, it is Mother Nature. And I'm never going to say never because you will eat your words. Yep. This is those things that clearly you won't know until the last minute as to what happens with wind speeds and all. As we look at what's happening with the fishing forecast, we do see that, well, here we go. The best times to be out today is going to be around 11:30 to about 1:35 today if you want to be fishing. The wind's going to be north-northwest, 5 to 10. Not bad at all, is it? Let's look at that hunting forecast as we bring this up. Here we go. Your first major time is going to be this morning around 10:40 till about 1 o'clock. So be there 10 o'clock. Should be good. Again, the wind's going to be northwest wind 5 to 10. Couldn't ask for anything any better, could you? Should work out quite well. Already 6:45 this morning. How do you feel? We do hope so that you're feeling good. You got to. It's going to feel weird because it'll be less days this week of you that have to go back. There's a few of you that get the week off, burning that either vacation time, or maybe where you work closes down for the week. Whatever it is, enjoy yourself. Robert joining us there from Waynesboro. We got Decatur, Miss Kathy joining us there. Oh, I was glancing over some other place. Ocala. How are you doing there? Ocala, Florida, watching this morning. We appreciate that. Philadelphia, Terry. A bunch of folks from Philadelphia is there. We do appreciate y'all. Conahatta as well. We'll be back in just a few moments as Odie and I are getting ready for the morning show that gets underway at 7. We've got a lot to discuss. Some sad times, some tragedy, and some good times is happening over the Christmas vacation weekend. We've got all of that coming up at the top of the hour. Why don't you join us? Tell a friend, share it, let them know about what we do. We're always here for you. We'll be right back as the morning show gets ready to get started with Scotty Ray and Odie.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.